Hello everyone and welcome to another Robcast Revenge of the Nerd podcast. Hey guys, it's been a little while and I'm really glad to be back. I am Rob Succhetto, the inventor of the zombie portrait and all around, you'd say probably you'd be a pretty good chance of saying I'm an all around pop culture guru as I love the pop culture. I really do. From Legos to wrestling to comics to zombie art, as I obviously basically spend my life doing. I'm really into all facets of pop culture, movies, horror movies, and stuff like that too. And I've been right into that culture for ever since I was like a kid, 5 years old. As soon as I think I started to, see dinosaurs and stuff, I was hooked on pop culture. So here I am today, much older, and I've seen a lot of pop culture stuff, and I've been really right into a lot of it. And I'm here to talk to you about a lot of it as well, as you may have known from the past podcasts that I've done. So, today is going to be another pop culture rant. Who would have known that this would have been an ongoing series? I kind of thought that, I was kind of, when I first started doing this, somebody, sent me, basically a question asking, what parts of pop culture was I not happy with, or was I not really into, or anything. And I thought, gee, I kind of like everything, and I kind of respect everything, and I think everything's awesome, and like the Lego movie says, everything is awesome, and I do, but I started realizing there were some things that really do bother me, that really do bug me, and I think most of it is the kind of senseless stuff that kind of ruins or misaligns pop culture and the enjoyment of it. So I was going to, and again, this was a question that was posed to me not too long ago. I think actually late last week, somebody was asking me what I thought of the whole thing with The Simpsons, Hank Azaria stepping down from doing Apu, and all the characters of color and stuff like that. And I think Big Mouth was following suit. A lot of animation companies are sort of letting go of the people are resigning or being let go from their jobs as doing voices of people of color. And I'm really hesitant to talk about that because I think that no matter how rational I am about it, a lot of people will not. I find people nowadays are willfully ignorant and won't understand why I think that's a bad idea. And I'm not saying that hiring people of color to do voices for cartoon characters that are of color, because that would be crazy, but I find explaining things now doesn't really register with a lot of people. They just want to be angry or want to label people as racist or misogynist or whatever, because it feels good to dislike something. I try my best to I try my best to not dislike anything. I really want to try to like everything. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to do, but I think I might stay away from that. I just think it's a very slippery slope, and people aren't really thinking this through. Voice actors typically are hired because they do many voices. That might include people of color. So a person of color can do many voices too, and if that voice happens to be a voice of a person that isn't of color, I think that should be okay. I really do. I don't. It's a voice. It's a cartoon voice, for God's sakes. It's the furthest thing from like reality or anything. It's just a voice. And again, I'm gonna say this again, just in case anyone forgot it. I don't think that people of color should not be hired to do the specific voices of people of color. But if you've established a character over the past 30, 40 years or whatever the Simpsons are at right now, I think changing it is kind of like, I think it's just bowing down to, are people really protesting this? Or I don't know who's really upset about this. It doesn't seem like it's it doesn't seem like it's that big a deal. It's like when Bryan Cranston got shit on for, acting like a paraplegic in a movie. Man, it's like acting. I mean, I don't know where this I don't know where this ends. It's kind of crazy to me to be thinking of this stuff. I see in a lot of animated and any other, and just in voices in general, like when Americans do Canadian accent, it's always this kind of accent, you hoser. I'm Canadian. Do I sound like that? So by that rationale, could I just now say, well, no, you have to hire me now to do a Canadian accent because I'm Canadian. Here's my accent. Is that the end game of this? I don't know. I think it's just stupid. But it's almost like, so I find it insulting that that's the voice for Canadians. It's like a director or like a producer went to the East Coast back in the 60s or 70s and heard how the people talk there and go, okay, this is how Canadians talk now forever. To Americans, they all talk like that. So every time you see a Canadian voiced in a cartoon or just in general, like if you're alluding to a Canadian, in American television or movies, you sound like that, eh? And it's always the A thing and all that stuff, which, anyway, it's mind-boggling to me, but whatever. I mean, we do things like that because it's a cheap and easy way to get to the point. Do we take that away too? I don't know. I don't know where this all ends. So from here on in, good. Hire, people of color to do the voice for people of color, but for God's sakes, make sure that they can do other voices too, because you're not hiring to do one voice. By that rationale, you're gonna have 50 people in a studio doing one voice. That's just crazy. I don't think people think about the big picture when they just instantly react to, yeah, they should do that, and that's it, and rights and fairness and they don't think past that. And I think a lot of people, it's really today in general, not just in pop culture, but in general, people just jump to a final conclusion without thinking of anything else, because they just want to be right, they just want to protest it, they just want to have a voice heard and whatever. So anyway, I think people need to think about really what the end game of this is, what the ramifications of doing this is. If a person of color is doing a Canadian voice, then too, that would be kind of weird too, because would that person have to be a person of color Canadian? I don't know. See, now you're talking this weird. It's just weird, man. So I don't know. I don't know if this should be a thing, but whatever, man. It's happening. So I don't think my podcast is going to make any difference or stop anything. So or get anyone to think. Maybe it'll get a couple of people to think, but whatever. My main gripe this time out is, and guys, I can't believe this. I see this stuff online and I see this on YouTube and stuff, and I'm utterly incensed when I see these goddamn lists. And I'm gonna lists of the top best or the best top or the top 10 or the top 20 or the best ever of these things. I'm going to stick to zombie movies because it's near and dear to my heart. And I've been seeing some lists lately that, my God, I just want to grab the person that's writing these lists and strangle them. Like, literally, I want to throttle them. Yeah, so this is a death threat. No, but anyway, like, it just really, like, you know, anyone reading these lists will go, you know, if you don't know, it's like, oh, these are the best zombie movies? Right on, I'm going to watch all these tonight, or these will be on my, you know, must-watch zombie list. And you know what? I've actually written some down from different sources, and it's utterly mind-boggling who they get to write these things. You know, it's almost like they got a 12-year-old to write the article, gave the kid $50 to write an article, and they just like shit all over they shit these zombie movies out. So I'm going to read a couple of these. So IndieWire, whatever the hell that is, put I Walked with a Zombie in their top 10 zombie list. Yeah. So I don't know if any of you guys like really know zombie movies, but if you want, and I think have I already done this? I might have already done this. I've already made a list of top 10 zombie movies, I think. If I haven't, I will. But I will do the definitive top 10 list of best zombie movies. It might end up being a top 20 list. For me, I think a lot of them will actually be like, all of them will be the top movies. They'll just be in the list. It's not like one's better than the other. It'll just be the list of best zombie movies, period. So if I haven't done that, which I can't remember now if I have or not, but I will, and screw all these other lists. Rabid somehow made it to the IndieWire list. You know, I recently watched Rabid, the Cronenberg and the Soska sisters one, and both were unimpressive. So, yeah. And not zombie movies, man. It's like a virus thing, and people attack and blah 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 because of this one girl who gets it and whatever. Slant, whatever the hell that is. I guess it's a website, pop culture website. A pop culture website. What? Night of the Comet made it to that list. Living Dead Girl. Horrible movie. They Came Back. Don't even bother with this. Zombie Child. Have you guys even heard of these movies as being like top zombie movies? Like, you know, even if you don't know zombie movies, even if you don't know the like zombie culture, it's not. None of these are on there. Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. Prince of Darkness. How on earth does that get on a top zombie list? Movie list. Death Dream. Holy crap, I saw this movie years ago. It was just a shitty movie in general. How it gets on a list like this is unbelievable to me. Men's Health is probably now this is Men's Health actually put out a top 12 zombie list, zombie movie list, best zombie movie list. You want to hear it? Okay, here we go. Train to Busan. Okay, at number 1. Train to Busan was one of the best zombie movies I've ever seen. Absolutely, no question about it. I wept watching that movie, and I'm gonna bring that movie up in another podcast. I'm gonna do, and we're gonna talk about it. But okay, so World War Z number 2, it was okay. Zombieland number 3, I don't know. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fine, you know. Little Monsters number 4. Top 10 zombie list. Dawn of the Dead, yeah, okay, that's on every list. 28 Days Later, number 6. Warm Bodies, number 7. This is the top, 12 zombie list according to Men's Health. Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, absolutely great. Should be on a list like this. Yeah. Cabin in the Woods. How is that even a zombie movie? There were zombies in it. Fantastic movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. Why is it on this list? I have no idea. Resident Evil. Yeah, okay. It was a pretty good movie. I own it. I enjoyed it. The Dead Don't Die. Jim Jarmusch. Watched this movie recently. Had a few great little nods to pop culture in it. Absolute mess. Horrible movie. I'm sorry, Jim. You done screwed up. It's not good. Breaking the fourth wall. Just, it was such a mess. Made no sense. Horrible. Why is it on this list? I don't know. Maybe because it's new and the person who wrote this is 12. And then lastly, at number 12, I Am F***ing Legend. The Will Smith joint. Yeah, that made this list. Men's Health. You should be f***ing ashamed of yourself. I should come right down there and show you what a real zombie movie list is like. Show you what one really looks like. That's horrible. You got to be kidding me. And I mean, this is the kind, like Men's Health. I mean, a lot of people read that shit. Men's Health is widely known as a source of info, to people. I'm not saying it's a good one. I'm just saying it is. Like a lot of this shit, like Livewire or Slant or whatever the hell all this other crap is. You don't have any business touching the zombie genre, and you shouldn't. Leave that to people like me. You hire me to do your list. Yeah, look up Rob Cicetto. Okay? So do that next time. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut this rant short. I hope it was enough for you. I'm going to do another one soon. I hope I didn't offend anyone. I don't know how I could, but maybe someone watching this will be triggered somehow. Again, I don't know how, but I think I was fairly benign in my talk about the voiceover cartoon stuff and such. So I'm going to see you again next time. I am so glad you tuned in, and I'm so glad you're watching, and I'd love it if you can give me the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more fantastic content. Check out this shirt at my TeePublic site. I'm wearing this. It's art. It's art, boys and girls, and I'm wearing it on my shirt. And I've got masks, and I've got all kinds of stuff. It's awesome. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. I'm going to leave the link for Patreon, my Patreon page, in the description below. I hope to see you guys again next time. It was very fantastic ranting at all you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed this. Don't listen to these lists. I'm going to make one. If I haven't done it already, I'll make another one. Or I'll make one, and you can really set your... you can have that list set up in your house somewhere and go, I'm watching all these zombie movies, and these are the real ones to watch. Okay, so I'll be doing that soon if I haven't done it already. Guys, thank you so much again for watching. Please, again, the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you too. Suggest a talking point. I'd love that. In the meantime, thank you again, and I will see you all again soon for another Robcast Revenge of the Nerd podcast. Bye for now.